Ooh, I need to fix what the window we're watching. There we go. And let's share this. Welcome everyone. What's good, everyone? Welcome to Friday night. Fire Cycle's here. What's up, man? I knew he was hanging around incognito on one of the servers. Oh no, I'm good. Just let some people join here, and I'm gonna go through a screener that I use first, and then we'll go through some charting. So oh my god. Yeah, this will be posted after, don't worry. We're good. Yeah, I record all my YouTube live, so yeah, we can jump into the alpha room. That's cool. I'm cool with that. I might be a robot. It cannot be confirmed. I am in the basement and it is very cold. I need to have my charting fluid. Everyone having a wonderful evening Friday night? Perfect, perfect. So this was one of the only services I've paid for this year is Bar Charts Premier members. I think it's like $10 a month. It's super cheap, but it provides me a tool. Eventually, I'm going to make this myself, but in the meantime, I will donate to someone that already made it, basically. So I got no problem supporting other people that make financial life easier. So hold on 1 second. I'm just going to check my... Someone's hit me up. Aww. My daughter's going to bed and she's crying dada. You know, it's gonna happen. When you take care of your daughter, they miss you. Fire, I'm gonna show you a screener that's gonna make you wet. I promise you. So one of the cool things to look for, and one of the cool things to play, are parabolic moves. But how do you search for parabolic moves? It's something that I think a lot of people, they hear about them in chitter chatter and things like that. And so, like, you'll notice that some of my plays that I've had will be on this list that I show you right here. And this is actually one of the ways that I found them. So you can actually rank a parabolic move by its alpha ranking, which is a measure of how much a stock has risen or fallen over a 1 year period with a higher weighting for recent price activity. So if you're looking at a stock with a high alpha, that means it's gone up a ton this year, and it's also gone up a ton recently. So the odds of it continuing to go up are actually pretty good. So one of the things you could do is use this for free it'll show you this ranking. But if you want to use the screener on this, then you have to pay a couple bucks for it, and that's what I do. So I like doing the screener on here, and so what I'll do is I'll look for perhaps average volume for a day. So if I want to do volume for a day that we'll do, let's see, I thought I had this set up, but maybe I didn't. So where is it? Volume. So we want yesterday's volume. Where's the average volume? 100-day average volume. So we'll add that in there. And then we want it greater than 1 million. So we want at least 1 million buys in a day. So we're going to filter with that. We can also filter for something, let's say, you want the top 100 stocks. So you can filter top 100 signals. You could go bullish price surprises. You could filter for anything you really want in here, which is nice. So if you wanted, like, say, filter by EMAs, moving averages, you can actually do that as well. So if you wanted, say, the 50-day moving average, add that here. And you can have that in here too. We're not going to add that, but let's just say we want to search by average volume 5 billion. So let's see the results on here. So then this will show us stocks that have pretty good liquidity that then we can chart and potentially have. Let's go back to the screener. Let's just do top 100 stocks to make it simple. So then if we go to a chart, let's just take the top one, Billy. Oh, Billy. I don't use a scanner very often. Ooh, man, Billy looks real good. So this is the 1 minute though. Let's go 4 hours. 4 hours is going to get you the generally pretty good price action. So you can see this stock all year has been going pretty parabolic. So then, if you're trying to capture a parabolic movement, what you're looking for are these flags. So if you're searching the screener for a parabolic move, this is how you. When I talk to people about trying to find 1000% moves, you need to find something that moves fast and moves often. So you need to find parabolic moves, and the only way I know to do that is to screen for them. So using an alpha screener will help you do that. So ideally then what we're looking for on Billy here is the next setup. So you got are these impulse waves and then sell-offs. So we have is an impulse wave and then basically buyers correcting and then another impulse wave and then correcting, and now you got another impulse wave. So theoretically we don't know if this impulse wave is done. It could keep going, but we can use a Fibonacci extension to probably check. So it looks like it made basically a full extension here. So it could be done, and it could be correcting. So what we're going to be looking for is basically for it to kind of do a little bit of this action before it goes back up. And what we want to do is we want to see basically a bull flag form in this area, and kind of like it did right here. So we're looking for a repeat of right here, and then we're entering on a breakout of over 121. And then what you could do for yourself if you use TradingView is you can just take the TEP here and you can make a ray across there, and you could actually set an alert on that line for yourself to remind yourself that that's breaking out. So if you're searching and you're charting hundreds and hundreds of stocks, you're going to want to set alerts. So something to keep in mind. Alright, so that's something that we're looking on there. I mean, if you're looking at the screener, Blink, I mean, these you can see these are very hot stocks. Crowd, FTCH, I don't know if I've looked at that one before. I might have. Ooh, alright, so here you go. This is one that potentially you got potentially a play right here. So, you know, then you're looking at charting this. So So then you set your charts on here. Got yourself a nice little bull flag starting here. And what you're going to do is you're going to set two alerts on here. You're going to set an alert at the all-time high, and you're going to set alert on the downtrend pennant. So what you're going to start to do is take a small position on the pennant breakout, and if it doesn't get over, let's say, I'm just going to draw the drawing tool. So you got basically 1, 2, and then you're probably going to get one more. It could go up higher, but then this is going to be what you want to play, and your entry would be on the breakout right here, a small entry, and you're going to play that up to here, because it's most likely if it breaks this line, it's going to go up to here. So you're going to play the 63.75 up to 65.60. So you're looking for a $2 move here, and then if it rejects right here, you're going to close your position. But if it goes above it with a full candle, at least a 15-minute candle, full body above here, then you're going to enter big right here, and you're going to play this all the way up to right here. And using a fib extension tool, you can kind of predict the movement. So we can see if this is a, oops, that's not what I wanted. Alright, so this actually looks like this was the movement right here. So then this to here will be the second movement. So then we're going to go from here to here. And then your target's going to be 79. So then, now that we know that's the target, then we can actually see this as a potential supercycle move. So, where's my fibs? So this is actually the move right here. So that's your impulse wave right there. This is FTCH. So let me clean this up. I'll tweet this out if you guys want it. There you go. Yeah, I got Tesla up here. We're going to do Tesla. I'm just trying to show you I'm trying to show you how to use a stock screener to find 1000% moves. So MVIS, I've heard of this one a lot lately actually. So let's look at MVIS. Boop boop boop. Where was I? Okay, so MVIS. Ooh, okay. Couple things on this. I saw Trader Stewie tweet this out, and he was right. You had a falling wedge right here, and you have potentially the start of an impulse move. We'll see. This is a pretty steep drop, but what it's doing, let's look at volume on here actually. Okay, so this had a crazy amount of volume, and this is a this is a $5 ticker, but it could be so much more. So eyeballing this, if this was an impulse move starting right here, and then this was your sharp correction, that means this is going to be the largest move right here, and then you're going to have a flat correction and a final move. So ideally, what you're looking at, if this is the bottom right here that we're going off of, this potentially could be, if this is just a natural, you're probably looking at right there, and then you're going to be looking at kind of a flat correction and potentially a final move up. And so then what you're looking at is potentially a move up to 20. That would be crazy. I don't know anything about MicroVision. I've heard really interesting things on this though. So ideally, if this is your move, then you're looking at potentially a $20 price target on a stock that's $5. What are leaps on this? I'm gonna look up some leap prices on this. Hold on, let me see this real quick. This might be something worth taking a flyer on if leaps are really cheap. MicroVision trade options, Jan 2022. Okay, so you can get a $1 leap for $500, which could potentially go to $2,000. And you basically have no risk. I like that. So I'm gonna actually put this on here. I'm gonna tweet this out too. So I'm gonna do a trade plan on here. And then so basically you're gonna risk $100 for potentially, because what you're gonna do is if it breaks under 485, I mean you're basically not gonna lose any money. Yeah, so I'm gonna throw this up here. I'm gonna throw the stop loss on here. Stop loss is if it breaks below this formation right here. This is something that you want to start doing for your charts too. And then so like when I make my charts, this is kind of what I do. This is an in-depth chart on how I make it. Alright, so I'm going to save this. What just happened? I don't know what just happened, but hopefully I saved that. I'll tweet this out after. Well, I guess I could. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, here we go. So opened a new, what is this, MVIS? So let me just tweet this out real quick so everyone can have it. Where is it? Where did I tweet that? Ah. Too many folders. Ah, frick it. I'll figure it out later. Where is it? Where did I save that to? Save as... okay, so I saved it to my YouTube series folder. It's important to remember where you're saving stuff. There it is. Ah, there it is. There we go. Alright, let's get back to charting. Sorry about that. I just like to do it right away, otherwise I'll forget to do it. So again, what I did was I just went to the top 100 on barchart.com, which sorts by alpha ranking, and then I just went through some screeners to find the average volume in the last 100 days, and then this gives me an idea of different parabolic moves to play, and you're going to notice ones that are very familiar. But let's say you go on here and you notice one that you don't know what that is, like PEIX. What the heck is Pacific Ethanol? You're going to want to go chart that and see if it's got a potential setup. And if it does, then you're going to want to potentially play that. So this looks very similar to the one we just played. So the only way you would play this is if it breaks over 750, and then you could play that basically all the way up to 1150. I mean, the volume on this is crazy. So I'm sorry, I'm catching up on some of the comments here. Alright, cool. Yeah, so like some of these I've never heard of. The two that I have never heard of, I just did. The other ones I've all heard of. So let's get into some charting. So yeah, top 100 on here. I'll link this for you. So hold on, copy link address. Here's the address for this. I don't get any benefit from you using it. I just wanted to show you what I use personally, and if you want to use it too, go for it. But I wanted to get into here. So something I did today was this is my personal Fortuna that I use. So you can see it's not going to catch every dip. The way it's designed to catch high probability moves, and so you can see it's catching the bottoms on all of these big moves right here. And while this one isn't as big, you're still catching a reversal here. And some of these moves, you know, they're going to make you a lot of money. You know, it's catching the dips right in the beginning of the day. So this was something that I just personalized real quick before the launch to show you kind of what a Super Fortuna on a ticker would look like. Yeah, I mean, this video will be posted right after. It gets auto-posted. I don't even do anything. You'll be able to see it right away as soon as it gets posted after. So I imagine FinViz probably has something pretty similar. I just use bar chart. I guess it's just what I've been using. I haven't really looked into FinViz very much, but I imagine FinViz could probably do the same pretty easily. So let's get into BMY. This was one of the plays that I called out today. So we don't need to see source code here. Alright, so let's do some charting here. I'm on the 2 hour. Probably go down to the 1 hour. Alright, and we don't need to see Super Fortuna right now. What we do want to see is volume, probably. We're going to do some trend lines, and then we'll get into projections. And oh wow, this is looking tasty already. So if you're using the wicks, you're basically looking at not only did it break the downtrend, it also tested it and bounced off of it. So that's a very good sign that this is going to make us a lot of money next week. We also have a catalyst right away in the morning, so that's pretty sweet. I like to use the 2 hour and the 4 hour, Danny. It's usually what I look at. So when I'm looking at charting setups, I will look at the 2 hour and 4 hour in depth, and then what I do after that is I might look for an entry on the 15-minute. I wouldn't really go much farther in than the 15 or 4 hour. I've heard some people like doing the 5-minute for entries, but I think 15 minutes fine. What you gotta do though is if you're using the 2 hour and 4 hour, is you can't get shaken out by a 3 to 5 minute move. You got to trust the overall moves. So this is what I see all the time. It's like, let me just go in here. So um, let's say you had charted out this head and shoulders right here. And so, this was a failed head and shoulders because it didn't break down. So then, that's not a great example. Let me see a good example here. Maybe today, for instance, like today, you're seeing this downtrend break, and so you get in like right here, and you get faked out by the sell-off, even though it bounces here. Really what's happening is you're going to lose money because you got faked out here because it went down a little and you didn't trust your charting. When in reality, not only did it bounce on the downtrend, it also bounced on the uptrend. So you have a perfect double bounce right here. So this is almost like a double signal to go in right here. So let's do some. I think I did it on my phone. I'm kind of sad that it didn't save over, but let's see if we can redo this real fast. Now, I wouldn't expect someone to be able to do this real fast, so don't worry. I'm just doing this to figure out the waves on my end. Let's make that a different color. So we want these to be like a pink, and we'll do these green for bullish waves. So we'll just make this red so we know. And basically, I think what I had was, okay, I see it already. I mean, this is a pretty good Elliott wave chart if you think about it. You just got to be able to do the waves a little better. So let's see here. This one's a little trickier. I'm not sure. Oops. If that's right like that. I don't love that. Wonder if this is like, maybe it's like this. Yeah, that don't look too bad. And then, I mean, the waves are getting smaller and smaller, it almost looks like, actually. So you got constricting waves. Yeah, they're getting super small. I mean, this is barely a wave right there. And so now you have a flat corrective wave right here. It's basically, there we go. I don't know what this is. This is kind of like, this is like a gap up wave. Yeah, I'm seeing a flat correction. I think this is the breakout move into the next impulse move. So if all of these are right, that means the next one should be a nice, I mean, you got not only that, you got a flat correction across here. So these are minor moves. There's actually probably a super move here. So if we were to do a super move here of a flat correction, I'm just going to do this above here. Wait a second. There's your flat correction. I'm just going to over arc that. We'll just make that like a yellow. Yeah, X is on top. I had that wrong. Sorry. Sometimes, you know, you're doing all these ways, you get a little confused. But yeah, that looks nice. I mean, if this is the end of it right here, this should definitely be a big break. What's that? It looks good? Yeah, so, I mean, I can see an impulse all the way up to a double all-time high here, and then a retrace down, sharp correction, probably down to these peaks, and then you're going to have an impulse move out, and then maybe a flat correction down to retest the all-time high, and then you're going to have your final breakout. So if we want to, we can measure this too. So the important thing is we don't know how far the wave one would be, but retesting all-time highs would make sense to me, and it would mirror similar moves in the past too. So for me, that would make the most sense to me. So if we're doing, let me see, where's my fib line? So if you're doing a fib extension here, we'll see if my eyeball here is correct. Ah, it's pretty. I'm getting pretty good at eyeballing stuff. I mean, I was pretty freaking close right there. Now, it's not saying it has to come back down and test this, but I mean, in my opinion, that makes sense to me. Especially with how volatile. Hold on. There we go. And then your final wave 5 target will be 76.50. And so then you might see some red and green days on the way up here. So, you know, you might, if I'm just doing this, you might see something like this. And this might be how it actually gets up there. And then you're going to see maybe an ABC right here. And then you'll see something like this on the wave up. So you'll see it hit there, bounce up, hit there, bounce up. Maybe it's more like this, but you know, this will be your impulse wave up here. I'm not measuring these out, I'm just eyeballing them. And then you'll have a 5 wave correction here. So you'd have something like this. Down, or maybe might not, yeah, maybe like this. Be down like in a collapsing wedge formation. So it'd be like a collapsing wedge down into here. And then you'd have your final impulse wave up. That would be kind of what we're doing there. And I could go and measure all of these micro moves, but I'm just going to eyeball it so you can kind of get an idea of price action on the move up here. But what you're looking to do is an entry above. I mean, if we break over 63, you're going to see some nice price action. So for me, if we're looking, you know, breakout over 63.20 or even like right here. Yeah, like this could be 63 and 63.20. So this is going to be your zone that you want to break out. So, whoa, wrong line. If you're not in it already, the safest thing to do will be to wait over the 63.20. Let's say 63.25 to be safe. And so a breakout and retest of that, it's probably going to be what we're going to play. And then you could probably play that all the way up to 67 potentially by earnings. Now, what I'd like to do is use some time fibs here and see if these lines are any good, and you can kind of adjust the lines by that. So we're going to use just from the end of the start of the move to the end of the move. We can adjust our time fibs there. So I'm actually going to leave this. I'm okay with this. Time fibs not. Here's what I think people get confused about the most on the time fibs, and I imagine most people are like, "Oh, that's going to be the end of the wave." No, no, it's not. Sometimes it is. Depends on how you measure it. If you measure it perfect or not. If you're just trying to measure price movements, what you're looking really what to do is you're trying to measure significant moves. So you're going to see a significant price action within there, and you might see a reversal in there. They're more of like zones where you're going to see a wave. So doesn't mean you're going to see the full wave line up. It just means you'll see a wave in there. So with here, like you may, if this is accurate, you'll see maybe wave 1 here, and then this will have the full corrective wave in it. And this corrective wave could go all the way to February, or it could go halfway through. This might be a fast correction, and then it starts wave 3 in here. So something to keep in mind there. So I think Burly Bull will like this one because he tells me I never go fully in depth on my tickers. This one is probably one of the more in-depth ones I've done. We'll do even a trade plan here. That'll be our invalidation right there. So if it breaks below 62.20 or 62, what is this, 62.20? If it goes under there, I probably wouldn't go in. So I mean, that gives us a tight stop loss, but and then this can be our entry line here. And now I just made a newsletter play. No, I'm not going to put this one in there. This will be free. You can't edit this? No, this is... Oh, this is BMY. Isn't that nice? Yeah, I'm going to try to make this as blown up as possible for people so they can zoom in on stuff. Try to make it as clean as possible. Yeah. So here's the cool thing. So they have a catalyst on Monday. They are presenting at the J.P. Morgan. What is that? The 11th, 19th. So 1/11. I think it's like from 7 to 11 in the morning. JP Morgan. There's going to be a lot, like healthcare is going to go crazy next week. This is not a small catalyst. This is a huge catalyst. So JP Morgan, healthcare catalyst, BMY, their chief medical officer. Can't type. Oh my God. Jesus. There we go. We'll make that a nice, pretty... I like blue. It's very calm on the eyes. Alright. I'm going to tweet this out for everyone so you can have it as well. So just give me a second to do that. I can do this and Trump cannot. This will be my chart of the weekend. If that's not a sweet chart, I don't know what is. Alright, so let's go back here. We did BMY. I'm sure people are interested in Tesla. Should we do Tesla next? I had Tesla up here. Here it is. Alright, so what is going on with this ticker? Like, holy cow. That's crazy. I'll put that in main chat for people and in swing plays. Ooh, what did Danny do? Oh. Did Danny start Twitter? He already has more followers than me. So much hate. Oh boy. Alright. Let's do this. Alright. I don't even know. Like, it's so in no man's land right now. I'm gonna tell you what this looks like though. So this looks like an island. So this looks like an exhaustion gap, and so I've seen this many times. So this is your breakaway gap. Here we can. So here's your first breakaway gap. This means we're going on an epic run, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like on Apple because this just happened on Apple. And then this is gonna be your island reversal gap. And then this is going to be some exhaustion gaps. Let me actually show you Apple here real quick. I might still have this charted. Nope. I used Apple for this. Okay, let's just get rid of everything. I think I used Apple for this. So for Apple, what happened here... Maybe I didn't use it on Apple. Either way, what happened? It's good look similar. So you have your your breakaway gap here, and then you have some exhaustion gaps here. I'm not saying that right. They're not breakaway. What's the word I'm looking for? Either way, what's happening is you're getting traders. They're getting FOMO, and so you have your breakaway gap like you had on Tesla, and then you have your gap ups here. And then eventually you're going to get a island reversal or exhaustion gap up here, signifying the end of the move. So let's go in there, and typically you get like 2 or 3 of those gaps. So we have 2 already. We have a parabolic move happening. So let's see if we can identify the levels in the parabolic move. So usually you get what, 5? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this would be your last one. So, I mean, I bought a Tesla call just because for the giggles. It does have a bull flag forming, so this could be the last one, and then it's going to start gapping down back to, like, it's going to come back down in here in the 400s. This is where it belongs, and in these two zones right here, this is probably the zone with the most volume in it anyways, and this is the exhaustion gap that it probably won't come down to, but it'll come down to here. So you might get one more move next week, so I'm just going to freehand this to avoid using something. So you might get one more move. If this is, ideally, if this is the last move, you're going to see a huge gap up over 900. And then it's going to come crashing down the same day. And then you'll have probably a gap down the next day and some action like this. And then it might gap down again like this, and then it'll probably start filling these gaps down here, and then you might see something like this, and then down like this, and then it'll really go down fast like that. So this will be a very big, basically a ABC correction down into here, and it could eventually be, because you have a super wave like this, it might actually be a 5-wave correction. So you might actually get something like this. So that would probably make the most sense. So this would give us a full week basically into Biden's inauguration and into through the tech conference next week. This is going to give us a nice move to play this. Probably, I mean, if we're going to do an extension here, we could probably use this move to this move for an extension to see if we could figure out what the price target's going to be. Probably looking at about 970. Now, I'm not going to say it can't get to, if this is actually down here, then your target is 1035. So this could actually go all the way up here. So that would be the move right there. So I don't know if I'm going to tweet that out, but we'll save it so there's a record of it that I called this. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. I'll post it in my server, though. So there's a record. Bad Luck Bear, you on here? Where is my server? There it is. Alright, I'm going to put this in the charts for people for Tesla. There we go. Bitcoin. Alright, I want to do the plays I'm in, and then we'll get to the cryptos. So, we did Tesla. I wanted to do TOC, and I wanted to do LMT as well. So, I know there was a lot of people interested in this today. Look at that beautiful cup. We're going to do the 4-hour on this one. I want to look at the overall arcing view. So, actually, let's do the daily. So you had a huge sell-off. I mainly went long. This is one of the reasons I really like this. So if you could see here, it's at the 382. It's in the golden zone. And it's bounced 4 times in this golden zone now. It's set for a bounce. And you have basically an ABC within an ABC. So you have a double correction. You have a small correction and a big correction. And then this is forming a flat correction. So The other thing about this is the fundamentals on Lockheed Martin are just fucking tremendous. Excuse my French. But, like, there's no reason why it should be where it's at. Like, the nation's premier defense contractor has a PE ratio of 16 right now. Like, give me a break. This should be a $600 stock easily. The problem that Lockheed Martin has had is Boeing. Boeing has dragged Lockheed Martin down. And the reason is Boeing and Lockheed Martin are in almost all the same funds together. So if people are selling Boeing, that means the funds are going down. So all the Autobots trigger and they sell off all the other defense contractors. So Boeing actually inversely hates, or Boeing inversely has negative news has actually inversely affected Lockheed Martin, even though Lockheed Martin hasn't had anything really happen. They've actually just signed a $5 billion contract to make satellites for the government, and they signed a new F-35 contract to continue making planes for the Air Force and Navy. So, I mean, they've had nothing but good news, and their stock has just kept selling off, and it makes absolutely no sense. I bought 2-year leaps. I bought a 300 strike, so for me, like, this is the last supply zone down here around 300. So if it breaks below 300, then I mean, I would probably sell at that point. But I got 2 years. I bought them for 5,000. So if it breaks over 350, I have all profits. So if it gets out of this golden zone here, my upside on this is extremely large, and so I'm really looking forward to this. I don't have a good Elliott wave chart on this. I would say if we are on a correction here and this is done, you could see, I don't know if it would start at, impulse moves have to be triggered in some way. I don't really see anything. I mean, this could just kind of slowly bleed up. We'll see what happens. What I'm looking for is a breakout of this downtrend for the most part. What I really want to see is a breakout of this downtrend. But the reason I entered it today is because it hit the bottom of this channel. And the worst case scenario, I think it bounces up to 345 next week, and I would make money on that. So this is kind of what I was looking at. Is it bounced off this and it kind of ended at the bottom here, unfortunately. But I would imagine we have a green day Monday if we get some sector rotations. So pretty simple chart. Not all charts have to be super complicated. In general, the simpler you make your charts, the more reliable you can make them. So if you have a simple charting technique, maybe with support and resistances, learn the Fibonacci zones. That has been one of the biggest things that's helped me in the past couple of years. And so if you want, you can have the EMAs on here too. Sure, that I don't really use the EMAs as much as other traders, but you can have you can have the EMAs on here. So I mean, it's below all of them, so it has been bouncing off the 200. So you could see it at least going back up to the 200 here. And you can see, it's been rejecting on that pretty average. So actually on my Fortuna, I actually have a cool feature on there that you may not be aware of. So if you go add Fortuna 2.0 to your chart, you can actually go into the trend EMAs, and you might actually like this. So you can actually see on this is the indicator that I made. It'll show you all of the EMAs, the 5-day increments. And it is below all of them. Like, it is extremely oversold, and it needs to have a bounce back. And you can see when it's down this far, it generally bounced back below these EMAs. So I would say Monday I mean, worst case scenario, it goes to maybe 333 Monday, but then we should at least get a bounce back to 350. So I think it's a great. Today was a great day to enter it, in my opinion. Even though it didn't look like a great day, it was definitely a great day. Ooh, need to make another drink here. All right. All right. Let's keep going. LMT. Let's do talk next. So I'm just going to chart the most recent. You don't necessarily need to do. Sometimes these waves are hard to see. You really got to look sometimes. So I don't even know if that's correct. That might not even be correct. Looks pretty good, but this wave isn't very good. All right. Why you why you guys got to use those words? I'm trying to help you. I don't make any money or anything off of this. This is just me hanging out and helping people. Alright, well, I think this move is done. So what we could be doing... I mean, this actually kind of looks like a bull flag here. Let's go in on the 15-minute here. Is this a bull flag? This is the one that I only played this because Kathy's been going nuts buying it. And the open interest is just absolutely ridiculous on some of the calls, so... So I went into this because Kathy Woods has been going bonkers on it. That's what I went into it for. Actually, this is a little easier to see now when you go in on the 15-minute. Yeah, that makes more sense now. All right. So if this is our move here, it's not going to be a big impulse move, but let's say this is the start of our impulse move here. So you'd be looking at kind of a sharp correction into a flat correction, and then your final move would be up here. So this may actually be a triple wave up for one, and this actually might be a start of a bigger move. So we'll have to see, because like you might, what I'm seeing here is this actually might be a what just happened here? Delete these and restart here. So if this is a sharp right here and this is our flat, then this could be literally just one leg here. And then you could have maybe C right here. So this could actually be part of a bigger wave here. So then this would be your sharp correction, and then your flat up here, and then final move up there. Now, I don't know if that'll actually happen, but it's not to say that it couldn't happen. We're gonna have some definitely resistances right here. So this is gonna be a key zone. I just want to actually, let's make a. So this right here is gonna be a super hard zone to break out of. and that's why we're probably going to have the longest wave in here. So this will be our flat correction in here and our big bull flag. That would be my thoughts. I'm just catching up on the comments here. Yeah, I mean, absolutely inverse head and shoulders here. You can see textbook. You got inverse head and shoulders here. So you got a shoulder, shoulder, inverse. This move right here has played out. What you're wondering about is basically this shoulder over here and this shoulder over here. And maybe that's what Kathy's seeing. You know, maybe she's seeing. You're wondering. What I'm thinking you're seeing is basically what I saw in Juniper, and why Juniper worked out so well. So you're seeing this. And so absolutely, because this shoulder is smaller than this shoulder, this would make sense. So what you're going to see is this then, potentially, your price target up here. So we'll see what happens. We do have a catalyst actually this week as well. So that's something pretty cool to keep in mind. I'm not saying it's going to, like, I got 20 calls for this Friday, and I have zero faith they're going to hit, but they were $1 each, so why not? So this Friday we have a catalyst here. My price target's around 19. We'll see what actually happens. So on the 15th, so the I think the CEO of Takeda, I don't remember who presents, but basically Thursday after hours, they're presenting at the JP Morgan healthcare conference. So you're going to have a catalyst on this line right here. So potentially, what could happen is if things go really well, what you would see is basically you're going to see a gap up over this. If it's going to hit 20, this is what would need to happen, is you need to have some sort of move over from that conference. You need to have some sort of information, and then it would have to create a giant gap. I mean, their all-time high is 31, so I think that's their all-time high. Just verify that. I mean, for the longest time, they were trading, 20 to 28. So the majority of people that own this own it back here, if they're still holding. Now, there's no chance that they are potentially holding, but you could see it gap up to this line right here, right around 2180 in this zone right here, potentially. Oh, BMY by a million miles I would play. Like, I got like $50 in here, and I think I have $600 in BMY. I have much more money in BMY than I do. Like, the setup, everything, the catalyst is Monday. Like, everything about BMY screams better than TAK. The only thing that TAK has going for it is the fact that ARK has been buying it like crazy for some reason. I don't know exactly what it is, but I am curious to see what that is. So XL is kind of, they had their merger go through, their SPAC merger. So now we're trying to see what is happening with it. And so I think the merger happened right here. If I'm right, this is the merger right here. I don't know a ton about it. I do know that I was looking into it, and it looks pretty legit. Citron is super big about it, so for me, I like Citron. I mean, Citron kind of gets a bad rap, but they definitely know what they're talking about. But if you're not in it, I would probably wait for it to break above 22. For me, if it breaks below right here, it's going to invalidate this move, and I'm done with it. So ideally, if this is an impulse wave, this is your sharp correction, this thing could go nuts. This is why they're going to say it's going to go to 60. I'm going to show you why. So what they're thinking is this is just the start of this move this year. So what they're thinking is this is an impulse move. This is your sharp correction. And then this is going to be a flat correction. And then your final move to 60. I guarantee you when I map this out, it's probably going to go to 60. So, if we were to do some extensions here, and it should line up already, so. Amazes me. Like, you do this enough and your eyeball just, like, knows where to put it. It's crazy. This is why they have their $60 price target, because they think this impulse move is they think this is gonna play out. And so if this does play out, I mean, you're looking at this happening by like March or April. That's, I mean, it could take a lot longer, but yeah, this could definitely let's see if we can figure it out. Let's do a time base and see what we got going on here.
You just gave me an idea where we could code our ratings into strategy.
I like ideas. Oops. So there's two different time tools you can use. You can use a time zone, fib circles, fib spiral. There's so many different fibs that you could use. I just go with the ones that I'm used to using, because I've used them and I know how to use them. I'm not trying to. I want to learn new stuff, but I feel comfortable around that zone. That'd be. Now this could actually come all the way back down here. I mean, you could see something crazy like this. And this could be a much longer play out. So keep that in mind, that this could sometimes wave 4 comes back and tests the peak of wave 1. So this is kind of like what Neo had done. And it's going parabolic, so if you're doing a curve here, the parabolic curve might go something like that. And this might actually be like that. So we'll just do some labels on here, and we'll get everyone this chart too. Now these are your super waves. There's going to be sub waves in there and things like that too, so keep that in mind. I'm not going to do a special tweet with this. I'm just going to do a simple one. Alright, so the only ticker we have left is much wow, Dogecoin, much wow. I mean, Dogecoin, correct me if I'm wrong, is Dogecoin and they not look very similar? Dogecoin and XL following each other? But I mean, you're getting a flat correction here. You got higher lows. You got basically, I mean, it looks pretty good in my opinion. I mean, I've seen this type of look a lot. And generally what this ends up doing is something like this. So we'll see if that plays out. If it does play out, what you're looking at then is the start of an impulse move. I don't know if it's going to play out. Bitcoin looks a little overextended, so thing is this is kind of a flat correction, so this would probably be wave 5. So what was the first wave though? So I mean, maybe this isn't a Elliott wave, maybe it's just simply a cup and handle. So this could go all-time highs, I think is 0.18 if I'm correct, 0.18 or 0.018 or 0.025 in this range. So this would be testing all-time highs. If we did a cup and handle extension, you know, generally you do the bottom to the top, and then you do that extension, and that's going to be right in the zone. So then our target price on Much Wow this year is going to be in here. And this will probably go back up to 0.14. And yeah. So we'll see what happens in there. Let's do Bitcoin, and then I gotta make myself another drink here. I might I mean, Bitcoin just looks ridiculous lately. It looks, I mean, I feel like Bitcoin and Tesla could be are just, how powerful retail traders are now is so ridiculous. Like they've taken over the market. I mean, if Bitcoin doesn't hold this curve right here, it's done. Did it really? Oh wow, it hit 42,000. That's crazy. See, I thought the top was like 36 in here, but because that's what makes sense to me. But I guess Bitcoin just doesn't make sense. So I like Tilray. Tilray's not bad. Oh, tired. I think I'm gonna call it. Maybe I'll do one or two requested tickers here. I haven't looked at Helion forever. I just know for me, Helion is like Nikola. That looks god awful. I don't even wanna. I don't even wanna look at that. I'll look at. I'm gonna look at. Is my cron chart still up here? Oh, it got deleted. Fuck. All right. Interesting chart. Let's look at Pelotar and Snow, and then I'm gonna call it. Pelotar and Snow, and then we're done. I don't think this chart looks good, by the way. Let me ask you this. mean, I guess you kind of got a cup and handle going here, maybe, but I mean, that's what you had going here, and it's just kind of. I just don't like Snow's fundamentals, but I get the Wall Street bets on it. And it is, I mean, typically, I can see why people are bullish on it. But for me, it's not worth playing. The only way I'd ever play this is if it broke above this purple line. Because if it broke above the purple line, then you could play it from basically 26, 27 all the way up to 33. And in that opinion, my opinion, then you're good to go. So, until it does anything that is worthwhile, I mean, this is a typical correction here, so let's see here. I don't even know. This one's so weird. Yeah, we'll see. I don't really love that. Ugh. 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 This chart looks awful. Ugh. This chart looks like it wants 200 again. This is definitely a 5-wave correction in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, I saw the call flow on it. Maybe they know something I don't know. I don't know, but I just don't love the action. It looks really bad. Let's do some fibs on here. I mean, it couldn't get back over the 3.8. Let's do a smaller fib. Fibs on fibs. Let's delete the bigger one so I can see what the hell I'm looking at. So it rejected the 618. So it couldn't get out of the golden zone. And it came all the way back down to the 382 and went through it. So it's going to test 288 and most likely go back down to 265. And it could do this and it could do this. Ideally, in my opinion, if it's going to do a fib extension down, then our price target is somewhere in here. And then this is where you're looking at it going. And the other thing you got to look at is you got a head and shoulders here that fully played out and retested. Like, everything about this screams bearish. Like, this is a textbook head and shoulders retest today. So you have your head and shoulders here. It retested and rejected mega hard. And typically when you have a head and shoulders like this, you can take the head down to the neckline, and that's going to be how far it falls down on this next wave here. So if I'm right, this could go all the way down to 200. And so that's going to be your target zone right there. I don't love it. It's just the fundamentals aren't there for it. I mean, they don't even make money, and they're an $85 billion company. Like, I get the future of the company looks bright, but the fundamentals. I mean, they're burning cash. Balance sheet is decent. I gotta give them that. Balance sheet is fine, and that's probably why they're worth what they are, because the balance sheet is fine. Book value isn't like this isn't something you can use fundamentals on in general, but um, originally they were gonna IPO for like 120, and people are saying it's a $300 stock in a few months. Like, yeah, I just and everything I've ever seen, this looks like it's going to 200. So we'll see if I'm wrong. If it bounces Monday, then maybe this is actually just setting up for another impulse wave, and this was an ABC, and we're not going to get the DE, and then maybe this is an impulse move back up here. If that's the case, fine. But nothing here shows me that I would buy into it. I get people are seeing this little falling wedge right here. So what you're probably going to get is you're going to get a bounce money. So because you have this falling wedge, you're probably going to get a bounce. So you're going to see something like this. So you're going to get a bounce Monday, and then it'll probably sell off more. So if you're in calls, feel safe. Sell Monday. You'll be fine. Because I'm curious, I just want to take a quick peek at this. Oh, I called that break over 20 a while ago. That's cool. Probably going to 25. I mean, steel. Of all the steel companies, this is probably the worst one, if I'm being honest. But it is also one of the most liquid because it's one of the biggest. But yeah, I get the fact that the level 3s came out today, which is, again, like, if it goes up Monday, you're going to make money, and then you can sell and be fine. Just because I chart something doesn't mean I'm always right. I'm just showing you what I'm looking at, and it's a warning more. Like, trust your own DD, and then you know you're responsible for it. If I'm wrong and you miss out on gains because I'm wrong, you're gonna be mad at me, and I don't want that. So I can't even chart plug. Like, these gaps are ridiculous. I mean, bull flag. Like, it's just I'm not even gonna attempt to. It's kind of in that zone where I just don't feel comfortable making any predictions on it. So, all right, that's gonna do it for me. It's about an hour and a half. Appreciate everyone joining. Hope you learned something. Hope this was helpful, and I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend.